some Celtic fans never expected that last night. In today's Celtic FC news, the Celtic FC manager singles out Celtic fatal failing, as he confesses that was the difference. Callum McGregor: defeat is a bump in the road, but we're focused on bouncing back. And the Celtic manager's facial expressions rarely give much away, but there was no denying the deflation felt after the defeat from Bodo Glimt last night. Bodo Glimt earned themselves a Europa Conference League victory at Celtic Park that leaves Postecoglou's side with a mountain to climb. Celtic lacked clinical edge and composure as they were bashed by Bodo Glimt. But the Parkhead boss is adamant his team can recapture their lethal touch and stage a storming second-leg recovery in Norway. The Celtic FC manager was left to rue lack of punch at both ends of the pitch, as his team was sunk 3-1 by the impressive visitors. Celtic saw their hopes of reaching the last 16 in the Europa Conference League dealt a savage blow as they were outgunned on their own turf. Dyson Maeder's late glancing header gave Celtic hope of saving last night's situation, after they had fallen 2-0 down to the Scandinavian shock troops. However, the concession of a late deflected third goal, just moments after the Japanese hitman offered some hope, sealed their fate and left the dejected hosts with a mountain to climb in the Arctic Circle on Thursday. We weren't clinical and they were. They had 2 chances, 1 deflection, and they scored. We lacked composure in the front third. Obviously, goals change the perspective for everyone. They were able to get their goals and we didn't. I thought we were in control in the second half, then they got their goal on the counter. I always know that's a possibility. They got a deflection and things didn't work, but in the overall context, they were more clinical than us in important areas. We just lacked a cutting edge in the front third and that cost us. Goals change the context of games and it did in this game. Despite his disappointment and the 2-goal deficit going into the second leg, Postecoglou is refusing to give up the fight. Celtic have shown a regular ability to score on the road this term in Europe, and he said, "It's only half-time, so there's another game to go and we'll go and play our football and see what we do." However, while the overriding feeling is one of disappointment, McGregor believes if they can improve in certain areas they will have a chance to turn the tie around. Speaking after the game, he said, "The result was disappointing and not what we wanted. We conceded 1 and then we were chasing the game from there to get back into it. When we did score we got a little lift and we think we are going to make it 2-2, but they score again and it knocked the stuffing out of us. If we can be more ruthless next week and have a bit more quality, then I've seen enough to show that we can turn it around. We will have those little bumps in the road and we're still a relatively young group in terms of playing in European football. We have a lot to learn, but that's why we're here. We will sit down and analyze the game and next week we will be fully focused to try and progress." Of course the tie isn't over and it is only half-time, but no one at Celtic had any inkling about what was coming in the club's first ever tie in the Europa Conference. Sure, back in the autumn Bodo had hammered Roma 6-1, but Jose Mourinho's side had other priorities, and Celtic had started 2022 with 8 domestic wins to turn a 6-point deficit into a precious lead in the SPFL. And then reality kicked in. Bodo joined Sparta Prague, Ferencváros, Copenhagen and Cluj as clubs using Celtic Park as a backdrop for celebrations. They had the belief in the way that they played, a format that tested Celtic and highlighted the weaknesses of a side that is very easy on the eye going forward. Less so when asked to defend. Often it is said that you learn more in defeat. Last night there were plenty of lessons for Postecoglou to take on board. I can see the Celtic FC manager not being too happy with last night. Look, lots of fans didn't want us to focus too much on last night's game. Our number one thing this season is to win the league. I'm fully behind Angie and what he's done for the Celtic FC, in such a short space of time, but if he makes an iffy selection, it's okay to point it out. And on that note, have a great day, Celtic fans.
Lit. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to the party.